Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Anthropic has recently released a new feature of their Claude 3.5 Sonnet model, which is local computer use. In this video, we are going to understand in very simple words what exactly is meant by this Claude computer use, how can we configure it, and then how does it work. So let's get started. Computer use feature takes Sonnet's image understanding because it's a multimodal model. Also, it takes advantage of logical reasoning of this model to next level where it enables it to interact with the computer directly. This model can now understand the image and figure out the display coordinates and components to move cursor, click and type text to interact with computers like humans do. This model can understand pixels on the image and figure out how many pixels vertically or horizontally it needs to move a cursor to click in the correct place. And that is where all the magic is happening. This model has already scored a lot of good marks on various benchmarks. I'm not sold on these benchmarks as much, but still, if you go through these benchmarks, you would be surprised to learn that it has already topped ADER leaderboard. It has crushed GPT 401 model by 4.5%, and also even all the previous Sonnet versions by a huge margin. And you can get the benchmarking information from their website, and I will drop the link to it in video's description. So how do you configure it and how do you use it? Well, there are few ways of doing it. It's a hosted model at Anthropic's website, API based model, just like OpenAI's model. So obviously you cannot install it locally, but what you can do, you can grab their API key, and from there you can use their Docker container and few other commands in order to get started. As I said, there are various ways of doing it. One way is to just go to this Anthropic's website, which you can see on the screen at the moment. From there, grab your API key, which is a paid option, of course. And then after grabbing that API key, you can start using it. Another option is to go to any public cloud provider, of course, not the Microsoft, but other than that, AWS and Google Cloud, and there are few others. I'm not sure if it is available on Azure or not, but I have used it on Google and AWS, so that is what I can confirm. So in this video, I'm going to use Amazon Bedrock service from AWS in order to access this, but more or less as long as you have API key, you should be able to use it. And it's not a free option, by the way. And if you don't know what AWS is a hyperscaler, it's a public cloud, and you can simply sign up with your free email account. And this is the first time you are signing up, you get a lot of free credits, and that is what I'm going to use. And once you have those free credits, you can simply use the Amazon Bedrock service. If you don't know what Amazon Bedrock is, please go to my channel, just search with Amazon Bedrock. Last year I did a complete course on Amazon Bedrock, and I'm more than sure it is complete. It is very short. In 20 minutes or under 20 minutes, you should be able to get up to speed with Amazon Bedrock. So please search the channel, and there are heaps of other videos on Amazon Bedrock which I have done. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm assuming that you already have access to AWS and Amazon Bedrock. And also one point is that you would have to request access to this new model in Amazon Bedrock, which takes few minutes to get approved as long as you are logged into AWS. And at the moment, this model is only available in few regions. So I have it in US East 1 region of AWS. If you have worked with AWS, you know that it works on regions. And again, if you don't know what AWS is, please search the channel. I have done heaps of videos. There are a lot of material on AWS. Okay, so now we have that configured, and once you are in AWS, by the way, you can access this service either through role or through your IAM keys and or profile. And again, these are all AWS lingo. I hope that you understand them. If it is becoming too hard for you to understand AWS, and if you haven't worked in AWS and you just want to check Cloud Sonnet 3.5, just go to their website, grab the API key. That's it. Okay, before we move forward, let me give a huge thanks to Mast Compute who are sponsoring the VM and GPU for this video. We really don't need a GPU for this video because it is all API based model we are accessing, but still. If you are looking to rent a GPU on good prices, I will drop the link to their website and a discount coupon code in video's description. Okay, so that's out of the way. This is my Ubuntu 22.04 and this is my GPU card NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM. Let's get started and configure this thing. First up, allow me to create a virtual environment with Conda. It is not a mandatory step, but still I always, okay, sorry, I just created it with the 3.9 from my previous version. So let me remove it and I'm just going to go with 3.11 because 3.9 is quite old. So let's wait for it to get activated and created. And then once that's done, we will proceed further with the git cloning of the repo of Anthropic, and I will drop the link to it in video's description. And that is also done. Now, one prerequisite which we need for it is to have Docker installed because it is all self-contained, which makes it very easy to run. I already have Docker installed. If you don't have it, please search my channel. I have a step-by-step very easy video to install Docker. Okay, so in the Conda environment, you have to set permissions to this Docker socket, process of which I already have done now. Now, next step we need to do is to set our AWS credentials. And in order to set AWS credentials, you would need to run these commands. So export AWS access key, your secret access key, or your session token. Or if you use AWS profile, just pass your profile and your region, and that should set it. So let me set these environment variables and then clear the screen. Again, you can get a free account from AWS and use this easily. Okay, so I have set my keys and now it's time to run the Docker container. And if you see that all I'm doing here is I am just running this Docker with API provider is Bedrock. These are the environment variable which I have set. And then it is just using it in US West 2. I think I need to change that region to US East 1. I will change it. And then we are doing some port mapping and then downloading this image from Anthropic. And now I have changed the region here, and because the reason why I have changed the region, because that is where I have activated my Bedrock. Okay, so let me run it. It is because this is the first time it is going to download all of the Docker images and then it is going to run it. So let's wait for it to get running. While that happens, let me introduce you to the sponsors of the video, who are AgentQL. AgentQL is a query language that turns any web page into a data source. With its Python SDK and live debugging tool, you can scrape and interact with web content. AgentQL works on any page. It is resilient, it is reusable, and it structures output according to the shape of your query. I will also drop the link to their website in video's description, and you can check it out from there. And you can see that now it is up and ready, and the demo is available on our local host at port 8080. It is primarily a Streamlit application, I believe. So let me quickly run it at port 8080. It is connecting through VNC, and on the right hand side you see that this is our workspace, and by default it has access to Firefox, I believe, spreadsheet, terminal, PDF viewer, calculator, and few other tooling which you can see at the bottom here. Okay, so let me chat with it. I'm just going to say find me top 3 stocks from Australian stock exchange from yesterday and create a CSV file. Let's run it, and we have received an error. So let's see what happened there. So the best way of doing it, either it's through here. So it says the model identifier is invalid. Now this is a Bedrock issue. So if you look at here in the terminal, it says that bad request error 400, which is not found, I believe, and model identifier is invalid. So it could mean that still my access is not approved in the Bedrock. So let me quickly check in the Bedrock. So on your screen, you can see that this is a Bedrock console, and it seems that this model is only available in US West 2. I was trying to access this 3.5 Sonnet in the US East one, and that is why it was not working. So you see that I don't have access there, and this is AWS account, my free account, where I have this Amazon Bedrock and I have access service there. As you can see on the top left, Amazon Bedrock model access and then manage model access. And so I have selected this, and I am going to just scroll down, and there are a lot of model which are there, and then click on next here. And from here I can simply just submit my request. So let me do that. Okay, so you see that it took around 5 minutes or so, but now I have access. So let me take you back to my terminal, and then we will carry on with our demo. So I'm just going to cancel it here because I think it used the wrong one. So that is fine. Let me clear the screen. Let me run that Docker again, or maybe I will delete the Docker and then rerun it. So I'm going to just stop all the Docker containers here which are running. There was only one, it seems. And then let's prune the system so that we don't have anything. Yes, don't want anything at the moment. And that should be cool. Okay, so you see there is, and make sure that you have around 3 GB of space in order to run it. As you can see, it is a bit heavy. So let me clear the screen, and then let's rerun it. It is going to again download it with the proper model and stuff. Let's wait for it. And the containers have started again. Let's go back to our browser. Let's reload it. Let's wait for it to connect. So I'm again asking it what are top 3 stocks in Nasdaq. Create a CSV file and put their names in it. Let me run it. And you see that now this time it is running the agent. It is quite fast, and this is the screen it is showing you where it is going to launch the browser hopefully, and then try to search it. So you see it is showing you what computer. On the right hand side it has launched the Firefox. I will let it run what it is doing, and you can watch it with me. So it is moving the mouse automatically. You see, this is all computer use. Yes, look at the search. Nasdaq, largest company just like humans. Market cap. And by the way, this is API based, so this could get pretty expensive pretty soon. And you see it has created a CSV file on the left hand side. And it is also given you the symbol there. And then it is telling you that towards the end that I have created a CSV file at this that contains name and symbols. So if I go to temp top, so let me quickly check with you. Where is my temp? Maybe I'll just go from the terminal. And cd temp. What was the name again? The name was top Nasdaq. I don't see it here. Maybe I'll just quickly search where it has. So I couldn't find it on my local system. It seems that it is still in that container. And so what I did, I just went in and I asked it, how can I find that file? I'll just go up. There you go. It is saying that you can use a cat command, and then it is telling me that it has copied the file in my home directory here somewhere. So let me quickly check it. That is fun. So I'm just going to do ls-ltr here, Maybe it's still not there. This is my home directory. Let me go back and check. So I can keep chatting with it that I still don't see the file in my home directory. Maybe it, because there is a local mapping with the Docker volume with the local volume, we can also check it out there. But anyway, you got the idea that you can chat with it with the chatting. You can control a lot of things on your computer. Hopefully not everything. There you go. Now it is telling me because it's an isolated environment because it is just in the uh, Docker's own mounted container. That is cool. And that is a relief that it is unable to access our local file system. So that is good to know. Anyway, but there are ways, by the way, in the Docker. Let's check out another thing. I'm just going to ask it, maybe I have a date night tonight suggest, okay, tonight, date night tonight suggest me good but cheap restaurants around Sydney CBD. Okay, what are the spelling of this restaurant? Let me run it. Let's see how the agents work. And it is really cool to see these agents working together and then going back and forth. And towards the end of it, I will also tell you how much it has set me back in terms of cost. These 2 or 3 queries which I have run so far. So it is running. There you go. So it is running the agent. I'm just scrolling down now. And keep an eye on the right hand side. There you go. So it is now doing some mouse movements. Yeah, seems like, but RPA, if you have used software like Power Automate or UiPath, this might sound very familiar, but now it has, because that is sort of a dumb robotics in terms of software, but this is quite intelligent. And it is going to do the searches and stuff. So let's wait. And here is interesting bit. It has given me the answer on the left hand side. It has done some searches too in the browser, but it hasn't shown anything on the right hand side, which is quite interesting. So you can even check it. I don't see any option of refreshing it, but that is fine. But it has given me the answer through the agentic search. Pretty cool, I would say. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what do you think about this Claude's computer use. Um, Computer use, I'm not, the good thing is that it is isolated, but as you can see, once you grant it with the root option, it can do anything on the computer. But we saw that it couldn't do the file management. Maybe one before we go, let's check one more thing, if it can check the processes on my local system. So maybe I'll just ask it, can you tell me which process is consuming most, not VRAM, CPU on my system. Let me check. I might just go to another chat just to give it a clean slate. So now I am just running this CPU. There you go. So it has given me the CPU there. That is cool. So you see, it can use it. Now I don't think so. This is coming from my local system because you see that these are the processes. Let me double check. Maybe it is because it is showing me the memory from my local system, which is quite good. Okay, maybe I'll just ask it, can you run the top command on my system? And I'm just going to see, and I will also open another window we will do the top command there too. So I'm just going to run it here, and then let's run the top command here. Okay, so it has run the top command here too. So you see it is showing me the command, I guess from maybe Docker, because these are slightly different. If you look at my top command on the system, I'm just trying to show you here. Yeah, you see it seems a bit different. So this is different, and sorry, that one is different, though it is taking these things from there, or maybe not. Okay, sorry, I'm just comparing it, bear with me. Okay, I think it is taking it from the local system. My apologies, I take it back, which is quite good. So I'm not sure how intrusive that is, but seems like quite intrusive. But the good thing is that it can't manipulate the files on your system, but I'm sure it can. If you tinker with those Docker containers, it can do that too. Or of course, if you have an API based, you can simply use those function calling and tool calling to write your own software to tinker with your system. That won't be hard at all. So that's it, guys. I think I should finish it now, and we will make another video where we will be play around with it more. That's it. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.